Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm. We continue on with our derivation. What is sensorality? What is a sensor? And so we're getting to this place of hopefully completion, again linguistic completion soon. We start the video, the dog starts barking, it's about right. But again, this whole entire structure, from rhythm to algorithm, is syllability, sound associated to letters and to meaning, that was produced by the derivation of speciality is special with an ITY. So there's a direct literal statement, that is where we're progressing our linguistics to for sensorality. Frankly, at this point, again, sensorality is not a word. I'm almost certain sensorality is the definable syllability, but it's certainly the stabilizing syllability. Literally, to complete a section of linguistics, you integrate the actual letters with a containment statement. The difference between 3 and 8 is 5. That produces the difference between 3, or the difference between E and A is I. So you can see in speciality are the first axiomatized word, but truly the first complete demonstration of analysis. And so a proven definition, an identified natural definition through a derivation. But you can see the relationship E-I-A, the difference between E and A is I. And so some amount of linguistic containment where we have our letters that completes sensorality, or some chunk of the syllability of sensorality that produces a natural definition. Working through our analysis, a well-defined process, and just pointing out, proving things, moving along as usual. So, right, we've talked a lot about velocity, momentum, all of the fundamental physical things, but at this point we still don't really have what is, again, velocity is a change in position. What is position to location? What is location to locality? And so that is kind of the big forefront idea, is location. What is position to distance? Sensorality posits stance, direct iteration. And so I guess we could even just start with a fundamental theorem of physics. A position is not a point in space, right? Space, its natural definition is nothing, right? Matter is well defined. The atmosphere is well defined. And again, when we have these adjectives just associated to a word, it's a good acknowledgement of not proper definition. Kinetic energy, potential energy, people didn't know that energy is movement potential. Space, outer space, still not well defined, something we've pointed out at the very beginning of these videos. But space is nothing, right? No thing. And so a point in space doesn't make any physical sense. All language is literal, all language is renormalized by a physical process. Again, that's where language comes from, structured sound from movement. So a position is not a place, is not a point in space. And so position, place, placement, ordinality, order, kind of our big words. But what is a velocity? A change in position, a displacement from origination. But movement, or what defines movement, is a change of position. So what is position? What is location? Sensorality posits stance, direct iteration, again contained within position and distance. Fundamental theorem of movement, velocity changes position. Sensorality changes position, direct iteration. What is displacement to distance, emphasizing the DI prefixing. What is placement to position? Positioning places, direct iteration. What is a place to a trace? Trace is diagonal, natural definition. I know we've hit that explicitly multiple times. Do paths trace? Is tracing congruent? Sensorality traces. Sensorality is tracing. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is a path to a pattern? Sensorality patronizes. Sensorality patronizes. Sensorality is patronality. Natural definition, direct iteration. A patron is a customer. Is a patriot a patron? What is excitement to exclamation? Sensorality exclaims. Direct iteration, emphasizing again exclamation and exclaim, this I in there. Sensorality is exclamatorality. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is claiming to exclaiming? Ownership claims, direct iteration. Sensorality is a claim. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is liability to claimability? Right, you make an insurance claim. You file a claim. What is claimability to tortality? Recycling reclaims. Sensorality reclaims, direct iteration. Is a claimant pursuant, direct iteration. Sensorality extends speciality. This is directly literal. Again, we have to iterate through sensorality. Speciality was the axiomatized syllability, so it has to be some sort of direct iteration. So literally, conceptually, and linguistically, sensorality extends speciality. Sensorality emerges from speciality. Again, direct linguistic chronological statements. What is movement to differentiation? What is direction to distance? What is distance to dichotomy? Is dichotomy specialty? Sensorality extends difference, direct iteration. Affinity tends to. Sensorality is tendency. What is tendency to fluency? What is tendency to complacency? Is tendency tender? Tendency is proclivity. Natural definition. Sensorality is productivity proclivity. Is proclivity civil? Direct iteration. Sensorality is proclivity propensity. Natural definition, direct iteration. Affinity is propensity. Affinity is finite. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is position to proposition? Sensorality is propositionality. Propositional is oppositional. Natural definition, direct iteration. Just an R, I think. Sensorality is oppositionality. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is a proposition to an aspiration? Opposition is dissonant. Opposition is resistance. Is opposition viscous? What is dissonance to differentiation? Does dissonance make a difference? Sensorality is discontent. Opposition is contentious. Sensorality disconnects content. Connection, contention. Sensorality is moment, movement, momentum, direct iteration. Sensorality is extension. Tension, sension. Emphasizing that relationship, that direct iteration again, as we've done several times. Now we put the sension in for extension. Sensorality is exsension. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is exertion to extension? What is exertion to coercion? Direct iteration. And then emphasizing again coercion, another word used empirically, and co. Sensorality is coercionality. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is coercion to persuasion? Is coercion convincing? Is persuasion convincing? Is invincibility convincing? What is co to con? Emphasizing the prefixes. Right, it just feels like con's not a complete prefix now, it's co, and then separate little unit n. Sensorality is the right question. Right, we're trying to develop the right question to ask. Sensorality is the right question. This is all, again, a self-contained logical progression where the conceptualization doesn't run out, the progress and the linguistics doesn't run out. Well, a section of the linguistics does, but the chronology just keeps progressing. And so like the things that I've said naturally are like part of the proof, the whole thing. Is a question the basis of an answer? Right? What is the chronology of asked and answered? Coercion, answer, ensor. Fundamental theorem of logic, ordinality is chronology. Natural definition, direct iteration. Placement is chronological. Is sense logical? Are algorithms logical? Sensorality is log odor. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is a long log. That's a tough one. What is a log to a leg? Does drag lag? Sensorality is loading. Natural definition, direct iteration. Another word that has well-defined conceptualization, feels very slang. Sensorality is a loadout. What is load to stress? What is load to tension? Sensorality presses. Sensorality is pressed. Natural definition, direct iteration. Irreducibility is maximum compression. Natural definition, direct iteration. Almost read the same things again, but I didn't. Is a logic chiral? Is gore viral? What is gorality to orality? Direct iteration, the only difference is the G, and it's just a consonants, gorality, orality. Sensorality is algorality, from algorality to algorithm. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is algoreality. Does movement go? What is goes to does? Gore goes. Direct iteration. What is appreciation to appeasement? Sensorality is an easement. Natural definition, direct iteration. Is an easement an embankment? Is a test an assessment? What is assessment to testament? Is appreciation easy? What is I can never say this word, amortization to depreciation? What is appreciation to amortization? Does amortization ameliorate? Sensorality is displacement duration. Rationing limits. Is duration durable? Is derivation durable? Sensorality is manageability. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is attrition to amortization? Is a morgue gory? So that was another thing that jumped out last episode when I was editing. I didn't really put it on the screen, but again, organ, again, clearly it has well-defined biological anatomical structure, a cell, the fundamental unit of biology, a tissue, and then an organ, and then organization, had a very biological sense. But just that also stuck out to me again, the name of Morgan, just organ, Morgan, just definitely was like a, Again, names carry logic, but nothing else to say past that. Sensorality is the order of organization. Natural definition, direct iteration. Ordinality is prioritization. Is amortization prioritization? Is chronology the basis of dichotomy? Is dichotomy duality? Sensorality is location. What is locality to location? What is velocity to location? What is velocity to locality? Very clean question, or dichotomy. Is location position? What is location to distance? What is location to motion? Sensorality is locomotionality. Natural definition, direct iteration, es loco increíble. Sensorality is incredibility. Sensorality is credibility. And I know we've pointed out explicitly several times, credible, ooh, that person is respectable, that person is credible. That's incredible, but incredibility, credibility, direct negation, it seems. Where are we at? I lost my... sensorality is credibility. What is respect to credibility? Is respect credible? What is a hypothesis to a hypotenuse? Is credible tenable? Sensorality is tenability. Natural definition, direct iteration. Tenable is workable. Tenable is possible. What is tension to tenability? Tenability is neat ability. Direct iteration, complete. Sensorality is the ability to be neat. Natural definition, direct iteration, special is neat. Sensorality is notability. Sensorality is notable. Order is neat. What is nobility to notability? Is heat neat? Direct iteration. Sensorality forges. Sensorality forages. Forge, force. Direct iteration. What is forging to forgery? Sensorality is forgery. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is for a jury. Natural definition, direct iteration. Is forgery fraudulent? Is forgery conspiracy? What is appreciation to authentication? Authentication validates. Direct iteration. What is authentication to manipulation? Sensorality is authenticity. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is authenticity to reciprocity? Is conspiracy complicit? What is explicit to complicit? Is sensorality explicit? Is explicit orality censored? Direct iteration. So again, we're getting our syllability completely into our logical structure, which you should be able to feel if you're following the derivation. And then just going to be a direct literal statement. We're going to reduce it, produce the word form, define sensorality, I think. I'd be very shocked if it's not that, but again, it's certainly the stabilizing syllability. Again, still emphasizing every step exactly where we're at. But my rights continue to be violated. Again, my parents continue to age every day. My dad's thrown up a couple times in the past week. That's reassuring. Hopefully it's not something, but who knows, man. The way you guys have treated me is so profoundly disgusting. I continue to simply emphasize no part of my property, no part of my realization is ever allowed to go to the United States of America or to contribute to this economy in any way. There was a lien on the entire industry. You guys continue to lie, cheat, and steal about literally everything. It's a shame. It's a disgrace. You've destroyed my life and you've destroyed my family. That is what I have for right now. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.